Hey guys, welcome back to the Snap-Ring Chronicles. Today we have another Ratchet video for you. But before we jump into this one, if you find these videos in any way helpful or entertaining, could you please give me a like and also subscribe to this channel. Okay, today is something a little bit obscure. This is a Tubelox N2949. This is what's known as a scaffolding or scaffold ratchet. It's pretty interesting. Here's the handle. Doesn't say USA on it, but I'm pretty sure this is USA. This piece was made here in the USA. And here's the head. Has one thing that's kind of peculiar is it has this protrusion here, and this I think is used as a hammer. So not only is this ratchet used for ratcheting, it's also used for hammering. Here's the hammer head. And from the looks of this particular ratchet, I'm thinking that this was made by Snap-on, because it just says Snap-on, like it exudes Snap-on. Everything about it. The handle looks like a Snap-on handle. The lettering here looks like where Snap-on puts their lettering. The switches and the plate and everything like that makes me say this. I'm pretty sure this was made by Snap-on. Okay, this didn't come with screws. These came with these pins, and I knocked out these pins. They're pretty soft metal, so it took me not too long to knock them out. But I guess this is used for hammering, and I guess they thought maybe screws would come loose eventually from the plate from all the hammering, so pins would be a better alternative to keep the plate on instead of screws. Okay, so this is how it switches. And as you can see, it's pretty coarse. So once you knock out the pins, you pull up on the anvil, and everything comes out, because the pawl is attached to the switch here through a pin, and either you knock out the pin, and that's how you get the pawl out. So in this case, I just elected to take the whole mechanism out, and it comes out. The switch and the pawl also comes out. Okay, here's the mechanism or the gear. As you can see, it's only has 20 teeth, and they're pretty huge teeth. And another thing, this doesn't have a ball detent, it just has a hole, a big hole that goes from one end to the other end, as you can see there. And I think this is for attaching maybe a special socket on here that's not removable, or that you would need tools to remove. And when I was looking at different ones of these ratchets, they looked like 7/8 was a popular socket that a lot of these had attached. It looked like they were permanently attached also, or attached to a pin or something. I guess that was a popular size for scaffolding. I don't know, I'm not sure. Okay, so, and this is the inside of the head. This is really beefy. It's really thick. Here's the ball for the spring underneath the pole, and here's the spring. Here's the spring underneath the pole. And there's the hole down there. And I don't know if you can tell. Usually, a lot of ratchets, they're not this thick. You see how thick? This is the hole for the pole. For the other side of the pole. You see how thick this wall is here? This hammer side? It's pretty thick. I would say maybe a 1/4 of an inch thick. As you can see, that this pole right here has an unusually long kind of guide pin there, and that's how thick this wall is here. The opposite hammer wall is. So it's a pretty heavy, this is a really heavy duty ratchet. It feels really heavy. Okay, and to remove this pin from the plate, let's take a punch. See. Yep, there it goes. And here's the plate. It's really thick, like most snap-on plates. But this one, I don't know, maybe this one's even thicker. Here's the pin for the switch, and here's the separate switch, and as you can see there's a square there, and that's where this square part here of the pin goes, like that. And here's the pole. The pole is only one tooth per side. As you can see, it's pretty long, especially the guide pins. Pretty heavy pole. So your typical batwing type of pole, but it's only got one tooth, but it's only got 20 teeth in the gear also. So I don't know. It seems like that's not much, just one tooth, but the gears, those teeth are huge. So you know that might work out. Okay, to put this back together, it's a little tricky. You have to do it in a certain sequence, I guess. You have your parts here. Okay. You take your spring and you drop that in the hole there, and you take your ball bearing and you put that on top of the spring, which can be a little tricky because the spring is pointed for some reason. Let me see if I can. Alright. I'm gonna take like a screwdriver. Oh god. This is not working out. If I get that in there again, okay. Yeah, every time I'm on camera, it seems like I always have these problems. Okay, let's see if we can get this. You get the pole, you stick the long side of the long pin of the pole towards the hammer side. And there you go. Okay, like that. And to secure it a little bit more, you drop in your gear. That way the pole isn't really going anywhere. Now you take your switch and pin, and remember how the pole is oriented, because remember the switch has to go in like that, and this has to be in the middle like that. So you take your plate now and you drop that on top. Remember how the pole was canted this way, so you cant your switch that way. Okay. Now, let's see if we can. Alright, make sure that the square of the switch goes into the square hole of the pole, and then you just hammer it in. And over here on this side, when it comes out, you take something and you try to peen it over a little bit so the switch won't come out. And once you do that, now you take your pins, or new pins if you have new pins. I don't know how hard these are to find, but I might reuse these. And you take these pins and you knock them back in, and then on the other side you peen them over, and that's how you put this back together. So yeah, this was the teardown of the Tubelox Tubelox model N2949. I don't know when this was made. I would say maybe 60s, possibly. But I lean towards that this was most likely made by Snap-on, just because of all the features are pretty identical to a lot of Snap-on features. Okay guys, until next time.